Okay, we are the Champion Select. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the League of Legends Rising Star Series Season 2 Tournament Grand Finals between Frontline and led by Example. This is the final best of five for this tournament. Uh, led by Example was able to win the first best of five, so because they came in the losers bracket, they will now be playing another best of five to try and win. They did win that other. They did win the other series 3-0, so looking very strong. My name is Crusader and I'm joined by Hallucinogen. We will be your casters today, and we have already gone into these picks and bans.
Yeah, we're seeing a Lux and Kha'Zix ban from Lead by Example so far. Pretty much standard stuff they've banned, standard stuff Frontline's banned. We've pretty much seen the bans 3 times by now. They're fairly targeted at each side. I'm not thinking we're going to see the more interesting composition that Lead by Example did run in that last game. But you never know. Maybe they'll come up with something even more completely insane. But we will see the Sejuani ban and Janna bans coming out. So I'm interested to see what Lead by Example picks, as now they have that opportunity to first pick that Diana again that I expected last game before they locked in the Morgana.
Yeah, there's been quite a few highly contested picks that have been left out. Of course, there was the Tony B trolling me with game playing thing that he loves to do. But there's like a Zac still left up. Nihilus is one thing that Thor really loves to play in his jungle. Things like Thresh and please. Oh man, he's like hovering over Morgana. This is completely baiting us. But for people who didn't see that last game, they did this weird protect the Tryndamere combo, make him invulnerable, and Tryndamere just went crazy and destroyed everybody. But maybe we'll see some more standard gameplay. And we'll see Draven locked in.
And it only took them 52.5 minutes to win that game. So, I mean, if all of the games in the rest of this best of 5 are as brief as that, then I'm sure that we'll probably be done before the time the sun rises in Europe. So, Draven has currently been picked up for Lead by Example. We will see possibly a Jace and Karthus pick up over on the side of Frontlines, but haven't seen that locked in yet, although it might have been locked in yet. I'm on a delay spectating the Champ Select. I have noticed that we do not have the blockers up for summoner spells.
Ooh, Karthus and Jace locked in, however. So, that is going to be those 2 picks. Jace is just such a strong champion. Of course, Karthus, a very strong global ultimate. It's just so strong in team play, not as much as it is in solo queue anymore. But I guess we'll see how it works out for these guys. If these two have a history, or these 2 champions have had a history with the front lines.
The only history I had coming into today of Herf Jones was just basically a big blinking neon sign that says he plays Lux. So Karthus I haven't seen yet. I have seen Karthus 1 game out of everything I scouted, and that was actually on Lead by Example's side when they were using a substitute mid laner. So I said this, I believe, in game 1 where they picked out Twisted Fate. They're picking out stuff that they think was, but they're picking out stuff that was used by a sub. So we're seeing now Kale and Nocturne.
Oh no, Kale. No. Oh no, what if they go for it again? What if they go like a modified version of their cheese strat? Anyways, not getting strong. Joe can dive straight up onto people. Meanwhile, Hallucinogen is having a mental breakdown, but at the sight of this kill being picked up, most likely going in the mid lane and top lane, I'm going to assume there. Anyways, these next 2 picks are going to be Nasus and Lee Sin, so that could either mean jungle Nasus to jungle Lee Sin. I'll be interested to see which one goes away, because they both do fairly well in both of those roles. And it is sort of a smart pick, because they had not picked the top laner, or we didn't know if they had picked the top laner, because Kill could go mid. So it kind of lives this last pick for top heavy, just kind of wondering, like, where am I going to go? But I'm really confused, because Volibear hasn't picked up, and this is starting to look pretty strange. Are you alive, Hallucinogen? Are you okay?
I am. I'm thinking about this. We have not seen any history of this from Frontlines. It's actually something I want to touch on. Frontline, since losing game 1, has been trying everything they can. And last game we saw Lead by Example trying everything that no one ever thought was a good idea. So at this point in time, and it worked for him. I mean, so
What is going on?
I think it's support Volibear.
No, but what is
That's
going on for the side of the front lines? Now the front lines are having me confused. Like they don't have his real support, or one that they've seen. And what we would assume would be the support would be like Lee Sin, I guess, because Yaya Pup is the one holding that. But it's just like, what's going on?
at this point in time, I have to feel that Frontlines are trying to beat Lead by Example at their own game. Unfortunately, their own game, last game, was a little bit incomprehensible, and we're sort of starting to see that again. I'm very, very confused by both sides at this point. I'm not entirely certain if what I'm seeing on my screen is actually occurring or if I'm having some sort of horrible, horrible sleep deprivation induced nightmare off of this. But have we seen the vein locked in already? Because I'm
Yep,
on
it is
a
locked
delay.
in. That is going to be a Vayne. And this is a very strong late game team, and then you have Lee Sin thrown in there. But this is a pretty strong late game team. What we see is that I know obviously Vayne scales into late game. Karthus is with the Requiem just getting added on to damage, and Jace just goes absolutely scary if he gets like fed. He gets super pokey, and then he just bursts people down. And then Nasus just gets all that takiness up. And oh man, I don't. This is really confusing because it is looking like that support Volibear coming up, and that does help out bottom lane because they'll be very aggressive. But it looks like they're kind of swapping around and just kind of making it very confusing to guess what's going on. I suppose, but oh, what is going on?
I don't know anymore, but it would be very entertaining to me if they ran Jungle Cho'Gath and Nocturne top because that would throw them so far off. It would probably not work, but so far off. But we are going to see the Volibear
It's a
support, it
support Lee
seems.
Sin. It's a support Lee Sin. I don't even get what's
Yes,
going on.
come on,
This is
it's
just,
it's
oh my gosh. I was
it's
like, okay, this is a new best of five. They're gonna go like this is like this, like they reset everything here. They're gonna go with standardish picks and they just throw this out. And I'm not even sure what's going on.
What do you mean you've never seen a Draven Volibear versus Vayne Lee Sin lane before?
Dude, I'm in like solo queue bronze 7. Like I don't know these challenger strats that they're putting into effect here. We just run really bad lanes like Caitlyn and Lulu. I don't know why anyone would ever run Caitlyn and Lulu. However, this is definitely going to be an interesting game. I really hope it's not going to be long and drawn out like the 52-minute last game. Like, because we really want to get these exciting games in here. These are the grand finals, the grand finals, the last best of 5 that that one team needs to win. So whichever team wins this best of 5 will be able to win the tournament. $25 of RP, I believe it is, a triumphant rise skin, and the choice, $20 RP, and a choice of a match between the Velocity Esports and Cloud9, two amazing teams that are awesome and amazing. But back to this game. I still have no idea what's going on.
I feel like we really need to discuss this, but I have no clue how to approach it. It's just one of those sort of awkward things. We do see Ignite on Draven. So
Yeah,
they want to kill Vayne. They want to kill Vayne very badly, and I don't think Lee Sin's going to be able to do much of anything about it until maybe level 6 where he can kick him away. And that's going to be about it. And when your best defense against something is I'll wait until I hit level 6 and then I'll kick it in the face, your strategy is either amazing or a little bit flawed, and I think in this case it's probably a little bit flawed. I feel like at this point front lines are just kind of, let's just play whatever we feel like and hope it works. I don't feel like there's any real cohesion here, but I feel like they're all playing stuff they think they'll enjoy at this point. Like, and maybe that'll be important for them because it seems like the games where they were sort of messing around a little bit, kind of playing around with things, they looked a lot stronger than the games where they were sort of completely 100% serious mode. So I think perhaps getting away from that kind of stuffy, serious method of play might benefit them a little bit. On the other hand, I mean, lead by example's team comp isn't necessarily better just from looking at it. I think that you're going to see. I think it's going to come down to whether or not the frontline spot lane can avoid just getting killed instantly by lead by examples, and that's going to be basically all of it. So, not really too much there, as I just realized that I probably ought to spectate this game that I'm supposed to be spectating.
Yeah, that could be fairly important there, but so these second time we're seeing these strange team compositions come into play. I guess we'll see if this happens to work out better or worse than last game because grand finals, a lot on the line here. This is going to be extremely interesting how this one goes because there's quite a bit of lockdown on the side of LBX. What they're having is that they have a lot of CC. They also have a lot of mobility. Like KO can speed someone up. Draven has his own speed up. Nocturne's going to be having his paranoia. Volibear has his speed buff. So they have a lot of mobility. They also have a very strong front line. Like they're going to have Volibear obviously building very tanky. Cho'Gath gets ginormous. So, and they'll have like a KO ultimate. So that is going to be helping out to keep Draven sustained and alive. And over on the side of on the front lines, I'm seeing a lot of just like killing. I mean, like Nasus is going to be good at charging off onto Draven, throwing down his Wither, and Vayne's is going to be that monster carrier. And Vayne actually works very well because she counters the hull stocking that will come out of Volibear, as well as that will come out in Cho'Gath. So I think Vayne, sort of works onto this, but it depends on how this early lane goes for her, because obviously that that Volibear Draven could mess her up, but it may not even be Volibear Draven that they're going up against. We do see Volibear Draven going into this rush. We're seeing that sub-level 30 strat coming into play here. But we're also seeing Yaya Puff and Sinroost up in this top area, so they could be going for a lane swap, which would be interesting because Jace can do the lane swaps fairly well. I mean, he has the mobility to kind of get out Volibear as well as the ranged form.
Yeah, and I believe I said at one point that if anyone went for a lane swap, it would probably be front lines. I remember saying that, I believe, in Pony versus Lead by Example. I didn't think Pony would go for it. I thought Lead by Example might try it at some point, but wasn't entirely likely. Front lines would not put it past them to go for it, and it looks like they're going to. So we will see the Vayne Lee Sin versus Cho'Gath lane, and the Jace versus Draven Volibear lane, which is...
This is a wild. Okay, the thing is, Cho'Gath is gonna have a nice time up in that top end. I mean, he's able to farm it out pretty well if he's able to sustain himself. If he's just able to put his Rupture down and creeps and then put out the silence, and then he just lives through it. But we also see Yaya putting up early pressure here, and she is Lee Sin. They also did the golems up and topping very early, and the thing is, Lee Sin just has that devastating early level 2. So if they are able to get something off using that, then they could potentially go for a very early kill. But, seeing as they don't have that many offensive summoning spells, it's highly unlikely.
Yeah, I'm not certain we'll see any aggression from anyone but the Draven Volibear lane for a little while. The Draven Volibear lane, if they don't get kills fairly early on, might not benefit them. I feel like what this game is going to come down to is, can Lead by Example get that Draven fed early on and then just win the game off of that? Because I feel like this game goes on for infinity. You have Karthus, Jace, Nasus, Vayne.
Yeah.
You don't want to be facing that at around the 40-minute mark or so. So Lead by Example needs to take a lead early and close it out early.
Yeah, Nasus is actually coming up here, so it looks like they want to push down this tower early. And Nasus is extremely helpful with that, because he has the Spirit Fire for one thing to clear it off. He also has the Siphoning Strike to push down towers effectively, and Lee Sin also helps with that too, because he has you can get extra attack speed. And actually, bottom lane, Amazing Nine actually wants to go into this tower for Rerup, but Rerup dealing lots of damage back. The tower shots will not be enough. And Tech is just able to take advantage of that and pick up the kill, and that's just kind of Volibear. You know, you heal up through it. He also has a heal, and he was able to take out that first blood out. And, you know, that just kind of works on that bottom lane because Volibear is just so sustaining.
Yeah, and it almost looked for a little bit there like they were going to be trading that first blood for a tower up top, and now it looks like bot tower is the only one that's going to go down, and Draven and Volibear have managed to take that at the 4-minute marker. So Nocturne has moved top to sort this up, and they might actually be able to get something on Yellowbeast.
So much damage. Thor is getting onto him. Top Heavy actually picks up the kill onto Yellowbeast. It's turning around to Thor though. Can he pick it up? No, it's a great Rupture coming out, hitting both of them, stopping the advance. And wow, that was just well done. I think Top Heavy picked it up with Ignite. Ignite has double buffs, and that's just gonna help him out even more. And things not looking too bright for the front lines now.
Yeah, I mean,
and they're switching back the lane to see they're sending Volibear and Draven up top lane.
Yeah, and that's where they want it. They want the Draven in a lane with the Vayne, because they want the Draven to beat the Vayne upside the face until she can't farm. Cho'Gath can't really do that. Cho'Gath can't really do much of anything to this lane at all. Cho'Gath just has to kind of stand around and hope something happens. He moves forward to try and grab something, but they won't actually get anything out of it. If they can manage to do again what they did up top, what they did up down bottom, then it's going to be looking really bad right off the bat for front lines, and front lines will be forced to just turtle as hard as humanly possible, which, I mean, they're already kind of committed to with this team comp, but they'll have to move into the point where they're just like, okay, we can't move anywhere anymore. We just need to stand here and farm for the rest of our lives. They'll move into that a bit early.
I think what we didn't take into account is that Vayne actually has that condemn. It's not going the Amazing Ninja on Volibear, so she could be relatively safe, but I mean, if he's able to get on top of her before that comes out, and there's actually the Pontiac buff threat. Nevertheless, this is just going to be interesting because they haven't moved the solo lane. It's back down to the bottom lane, and the Cho'Gath obviously once again going to have a nice time with those double buffs for a while. I'm going to be running up fairly soon. Really has pretty much just been a farm fest, even farm for both of those guys. Oh man, I don't even know what's going on now. Like they're putting out these lane swaps, and it's sort of back to standard. But just these two supports are gonna completely throw me off. Or quote supports quote.
Yeah, I feel at this point that Lead by Example must just be trying to figure out new ways of throwing front lines off their game.
So low. And now Yellowbeast comes in here. It looks like they're just kind of trying to defend this town. They really can't. They just really can't.
Yeah, the Draven Volibear lane, like, it's a cheese lane, basically. You're just trying to get kills off of it. The Vayne Lee Sin lane, however, is just sort of running two things that don't really work that great together because... So there's a lot more cohesion off of Lead by Example's side, which is a bit of a change of pace from last game. So, really, what we're going to see here is we're going to see... I feel like Lead by Example at this point has taken a bit too much control over what's happening to where, I mean, Frontlines just needs to hold on for the next 15 minutes or so, and if they don't lose in the next 15 minutes or so, then they might be able to stage a comeback. But for right now, their path to coming back into this game is a very, very long one.
Yeah, they just kind of have to. I really like. People say it's a lot, but they kind of just have to farm. I mean, they have champions that have strong farming potential, and they have strong late games. But you know, just in this early game, if they falter in an early game, there won't be a late game for them to thrive in. And we're just looking at that bottom lane, Lee Sin taking so much damage. A Rolling Death comes out, almost taking him down. They're actually going aggressive out to Yellowbeast. The Amazing Nine picks him up, and now Tech is behind the tower. Exhaust going off onto Sinru. For sure going to pick up this kill. Looks like there's a Requiem coming down. Should be to pick up the kill. No, the heal comes out, and Tech is able to live through that. Now it's 4-0.
Yeah, nobody expects support Volibear's summoner heal to come out in that sort of situation, so I mean, Karthus tried. I would have done the same thing in that situation, so I don't really want to say it was wasted because I think they just sort of forgot that Volibear had Summoner Heal for a second Summoner there, and I mean, that's a slight mistake, but I don't think you can really blame them for it.
And now Volibear actually has 2 kills, and he already has Boots of Speed, which is obviously really easy for him to catch up. If you're actually down in bottom lane, top heavy, turning around a gank here, chasing after Reroth, cannot get the feast off though to finish him off, so he will not be going down, but he still is able to stay in that lane. And he's had that. Wait, I'm really confused at how like his buff shows that he has red buff, but his passives don't show that he has red buff. I think it's like graphical errors. I don't think he has red buff. Although he does have blue buff. Anyways, this game is just absolutely wild. Looks like Volibear going for that health with a giant spot, and looks like they will start on this dragon.
Yeah, Cho'Gath does appear to have a Phantom red buff. That's so confusing. I'm looking forward to that being confusing for the rest of the game. As we now see the dragon that... Okay, never mind. My eyes are playing tricks on me. Well, for a second there I thought the dragon had blue buff, and then I realized it was Kale. But...
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
You're losing your mind, dude. These games are way too much for you.
Perfectly fine. Lead by Example does pick up that dragon. They've moved out to about the 6,000 gold lead at the 10-minute mark, which is a bit more extreme than we've seen over the course of these games. So, I don't want to say this is over, but I don't think Frontlines will hold this. I could be wrong, but it's going to be really difficult for them to do so.
And LBX is playing smart. Like, they know they have this early lead, so they want to press it. Like, they want to have this going. They're ending this laning phase. They don't want people to farm up at all. Like, they don't want them to be able to get any advantage at all. So they're just gonna be pushing up this lane. Meanwhile, down bottom lane, trading going on between these two. Ignite going down onto heavy. This should be a few auto attacks to take out. It's gonna be the shock blast, so will be enough. Picks up the kill. So that's gonna be the first kill going over to Rerup on the front lines, and that could spell danger because Jace is absolutely terrifying. Wow, it's like a melting Perf Jones right there. Absolutely melting him.
Yeah, Tech's been very impressive just throughout this entire tournament and is continuing to be so. Be as impressive so far through what's been a very long day for Lead by Example and a very long day for pretty much all of us here. I mean, Frontlines had that break while Lead by Example was playing My Little Pony. And Lead by Example is still
getting under the tower. Will have his passive being popped out. Yaya pop is super low. Rolling down comes and takes her out. And then there's the double kill actually coming off. Requiem is going to be coming down. The heal coming off from Kale. Looks like Tech might be able to live through this, but he's a super low setting for Tony. There is the Spiritfire barely getting on the edge of Tech, and then he also picks up Tony B as well with the Siphoning Strike. So that was nice. He was able to turn that one around, get up there, the Ghost, able to follow them. That Spiritfire barely took out Tech right there. I'm surprised that I was able to take him out. Like there was like he was right on the edge of that, I think. So that was well done. The double kill for that Nasus is gonna be nice, as well as the shutdown gold. But overall, still 7-3 now, 3 towers to 0. LBX taking this early advantage.
Yeah, that was just LBX committing a bit too hard to that fight in mid lane. They got a bit too deep, took a bit too much damage, and just got cleaned up a bit off the back of it. So there wasn't too much that they could do. I don't remember, did they get the turret? No, they did not. So really just sort of, I believe, traded, I don't remember if it was 1 or 2. I think it was 1, possibly 2. Well, obviously it's possibly 2 if I'm guessing 1 or 2, but I think it was only 1 for 2 of them, so that benefits Frontlines, and even 2 for 2 benefits Frontlines just because they scale harder with gold. So we'll see what happens here as they're now looking like they want to force this mid lane turret from Lead by Example.
Yes, Sinru and Yayapup coming around the side. Tony is actually a little bit caught out, slowed down by the Wither. Trying to chase after him, looks like he'll be okay. And we do see LBX just taking out these earlier objectives in the form of this blue buff here, and still a phantom red buff on that Cho'Gath.
Yeah, Phantom Red Buff Cho'Gath, definitely the scariest kind of visual glitch Cho'Gath you can have. So, I mean, I would be even more worried if it was actually applying Red Buff, but it wouldn't surprise me. Red Buff is
Permanent red
probably
buff.
coded. Yeah, Red Buff is probably just coded as a minion or something in the game,
Yeah, so it
so.
looks like they're chasing after the Kale, and she will not. Oh, she will be going down. Gilby's picks up that kill. However, Yaipup did go down. Tech picked that one up. The rolling death coming off, but Tech has to flash out of there, taking quite a bit of something. Amazing Knight heading back in here. They're trying to get onto Tech. Thor comes in from the side though. Condemn away to get Thor away from them. Amazing Knight is still chasing after. Flash in from Thor. Be going on for Herb Jones. Herb Jones will be going down. Tech picking up that kill. Oh, Tech is so low, but he will be the lift. There's no Requiem from Karthus. And meanwhile, down bottom lane, the push coming out from Heavy.
Yeah, it's now 9-4 on kills, 4-0 on turrets, and most importantly, 23.9 thousand to 15.9 thousand on gold. So Lead by Example has pulled out to that 8,000 gold lead at the 14.5 or so minute mark. So things continuing to look a bit bleak, partly cloudy with a chance of losing very soon if they don't hold this off for front lines at this point. I still maintain that if they hold off for another... I said 15 minutes like 10 minutes ago, and I'm sticking
Top
by
Heavy
15 minutes
getting
now.
hit down by 3 people, and they do take him out. Vayne had to burn the barrier there in fear of the feast, although it hadn't already been used, so we're a little bit wasted. Oh well, they did finally pick up a kill. I guess that's going to be nice for them.
Yeah, that is a very good way of getting the pressure off as well. Just getting that split push out is going to allow them to just sit back and farm in peace without worrying about just losing towers elsewhere. They can't really afford to be split up too much because then people just force fights. But they also can't afford to be together all the time because they'll just get split pushed down as well. So they have to sort of strike that balance between, okay, we can be apart from each other, be farming all the lanes, or okay, we have to be together to defend this. So them getting that kill takes that pressure off, allows them to just sit back and farm without having to worry about something getting shoved down in the meantime.
So many tires are just down for this side of front lines, and it's just time and time again. Lead by Example loves taking these early advantages and just snowballing them out of control, taking these towers, putting down the split pushes. They're going to be taking this dragon now, and they should be able to pick it up. So, this game just... Oh my gosh. It's just looking so up for... I know actually Paranoia coming out, going to be diving right on top of Nerf Jones. He should be going down here. We'll get feedback into Team Yaipup being in there. She really cannot do anything. Lots of damage on. Actually, here comes the Requiem, but nope, intervention stops it. Way too strong. And they've been, like, Requiem has not really been able to pick up any kills, I don't think, or directly pick up kills.
Yeah, Karthus is still sitting at 0 kills, has 3 assists. I believe a lot of that off of his Requiems. They did manage to pick up those 2 in their jungle off after Requiem, including that Spirit Fire kill on Nasus, but Karthus didn't pick them up themselves. That's why pretty much those 2 kills went on to Nasus, because he was needed to finish them off, because Requiem just wasn't strong enough as Tech taking a lot of damage from that Shock Blast.
Yeah, it does like decent amount of damage. She's also the Jace is 2, 1, and 3, so we're gonna be having some decent damage coming out of him. But meanwhile, still Cho'Gath top heavy, just pushing and pushing. Rebuff has come in here. Same thing for Yellow Beast, and it looks like they should be able to pick up top heavy. Rebuff picking up the kills, not on a killing spree. We really do want those kills going down to Rebuff because he is Jace and he can snowball the game. It's just up to the rest of his team to help, and they really just kind of need to farm out. Because even if you look at the farm, it's just so much in favor of Lead by Example at this point.
Yeah, I mean, just everything in this game really going their way. If you just want to look at the gold really quick, like Draven has 7,500 gold total, Vayne has 3,800 total, so a sizable difference there, and it's not anywhere near as dramatic elsewhere on LBX versus Frontline's gold values, except for on support. But there's still very sizable gold differences between each individual member on each team. So, I mean, not only is LBX ahead, it's not like they're ahead because they have this one extremely fed guy. They're ahead because every single member of their team is significantly stronger than their equivalent on the other team at this point.
Yeah, and they're using this to then for people to pressure top tower, and once again, top heavy just pushing down in that bottom lane. Yidapup's going to be going engaged and going to be safe going actually back to her team. They're just putting out the damage. She probably took a little bit more damage than she meant to put out, or she meant to take. And top heavy just pushing it up. I mean, he's going to be able to pick up like the tower if no one responds to this. And that's the thing. It's like, does... okay, actually, the rolling death going to be coming off. Herf Jones is super low there. And like it's come to the point where LBX is playing is so smart, where they're playing the split pushing game. Like, are they going? They had to make Frontline to make a decision if they're going to lose the top tower, if they're going to lose the bottom tower, and they might like even lose both.
To be entirely honest, I think they don't really have too much of a choice at this point. And Amazing 9 getting quite a bit of damage, but they do take out
going
Rerough.
Down there, shut down. Goer picking that one up. Now Yellow Beast has to run back. Meanwhile, the tower went down into top lane, kill almost going down to Yayapuff from top heavy, and there's at this point there's like absolutely no way I see Frontline's coming back from this. The team of LBX is just way too strong. We see Tech just going into the tower and ripping down Herf Jones, taking him out. Meanwhile, still top heavy's now pushing on the inhibitor. And he's going to be warded off by 3 people, though. But now all the towers outside of the base are down. Lead by example, just completely winning this out.
As we have seen Kale picking up her Zephyr. So that purchase will totally make a difference. But at the end of the day, I mean, you can't really say never about this sort of game. I think there's still a very, 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 very remote chance that Frontlines can come back to this. It might even be like 0.001%, but that chance still exists. So for right now, I'm going to cling optimistically to the hope that this might still turn out to be a close game further down the line. Or cling to the hope that it might end soon. We might get into a more competitive game too.
Yeah, it's like these past 2 games, like LBX, like they're pulling out something new. The first one was that crazy protect the Tryndamere, make him an invulnerable comp, and now it's support Volibear Draven, wreck face comp, and it's wrecking face.
Yeah, I mean, Frontline's faces will never be the same again after the wrecking they experienced in this particular instance, but they're doing
Baron. Are they gonna start it? They're kind of hanging around. So they're gonna start it.
I mean, they
could. What? Okay. I'm running out to cheer. Did they want to go for that, or did they? Oh, Yayapuff is gonna totally. Oh, they're putting out the bait. They killed the ward and they started on it, and now they're hiding in this brush. And they're waiting to see if Frontlines wants to respond to that and go over there, but it looks like they're having another, like, okay, it's a free Baron for them, we'll just back up, and now it looks like they will take Baron for real.
Yeah, there's an unfortunate fatal flaw in the reasoning there. They're thinking that, okay, they're doing Baron, we need to go. Frontlines' thought is more, oh god, they're going to have Baron, let's run for our lives and get into our base. So they're that afraid of them to where they can no longer pose a legitimate threat to even Baron at this point. Like, they can't show up there and try and steal, say, hey, we're still people in this game. They have to be sort of like, okay, they're going to have Baron, let's buckle down as hard as we can and try and weather this one out. But it's 15,000 gold at the 23-minute mark. It's going to take something absolutely massive for them to come back at this point.
Yeah, and it's just 12-6, but Goldie just huge 7 towers to 0. Barons and Dragons all picked up by LBX. They're just hanging around. Looks like they're heading down to bottom lane tower, or inhibitor to push it down. Meanwhile, KO up at top lane, putting out the split push. Of course, she can straight down the side as fast as Heavy could. And looks like Beast will be putting on the Dominus, but the Fury of the Sands, and they will be going on top heavy, taking lots of damage, but not the person they want to focus. The Axiom Tech is doing so much damage, and while they're backing off and leading them farther out of the base, DC Tony gonna be the pick of that top inhibitor tower.
Yeah, that kill with the 1.5 attack speed does take that
Herb
tower.
Jones gonna get knocked right back into the team. Is gonna get taken out. Rampage for Tech now, and that's just now they're gonna be able to leave. And meanwhile, KO still going at this top inhibitor. They're seeing people stop it now though. Spirit of the Fight comes out from Nasus. We'll be putting out the Paranoia, and actually Jace is gonna get taken down. And up back at top lane, Invulnerability coming out from Tony, gonna be able to take out Yaya Puff. And looks like bottom inhibitor will fall, top inhibitor will surely fall, and this could potentially be the game right now.
It might be game indeed, as it looks like they're going to start moving onto these Nexus turrets. They will take out the first one, the second one looking like it's going to go down fairly quickly, and it looks like it will be game 1 of the second best of 5 going to Lead by Example.
Yep, and they just have to win 2 more games, so then they have won the season 2 term for LRSS. Oh wow, they actually finally shut down Tech. I'm sure they're.
To be fair, he was fountain diving. Let's be fair.
No, shh, give them the glory.
Oh.
Well, we will go into a short break. We'll be coming back to you with more action, hopefully with a more even-ish game.